Today, I want you, what this says is on our notes. It says converting y equals mx plus b and ax plus by is equal to c. We're going to deal with this one tomorrow, okay? I broke these up. That's why it says part one. What happened was his students got a little overwhelmed, and so I have broken it up into smaller parts. So we're going to talk about if we are given an equation that looks like this, which is called standard form, bringing it back to slope-intercept. We're also going to do a little bit more on point-slope form and taking that all the way to y equals. All right? There are two common forms of a linear equation. When the values of one variable depend on those of another, it is natural to express the relationship as y equals mx plus b. Most of the linear equations you have seen have been in this slope-intercept form. When it comes to more natural to combine the values of two variables, the relationship can be expressed as ax plus by equals c. This is standard form of a linear equation. And that is on your mathematics chart. It says standard form. And we're going to go over the specifics because there are some specifics to that you must know when you leave something in standard form or it is in standard form. There are very specifics on how they have to be. So we will go over that tomorrow. All right. It is necessary. Why do we think we need to think about this type of an equation? It is easy to graph a linear equation in the form of y equals mx plus b on a calculator. Can you use a calculator to graph an equation of the form ax plus by is equal to c? Yes, but you must change. So sorry. Yes, but you must change that equation to y equals mx plus b before you can do it. Can you change an equation from ax plus by equals c form to y equals mx plus b? Sure you can. Yes, you can. You can do that, and that's what we are going to be doing today. Plus, we're going to do point-slope form, and we're going to take that all the way to y equals, but you need to recognize how to use point-slope form and when to put it there and how to deal with it. So that is what we are going to work on today. All right, so notes, part one, forms of equations, linear equations. We're still only on linear equations, all right? Point-slope form of a linear equation of a non-vertical line that passes through the point x1 and y1 with a slope of m is what? What did we say that was? Point-slope form? Do you remember? You have a mathematics chart that has point-slope form.
A minus O1 equals M.
What? Does that say point-slope form of a linear equation? Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Okay? So our slope-intercept form, we've been over and over and over this. Y equals mx plus or minus b. Remember, it could be plus or minus b. Standard form is ax plus by is equal to c, where both a and b are not 0, and we will deal with this tomorrow. Point-slope form, we just wrote it, y minus y1 times m x minus x1, okay? So writing an equation in point-slope form, we did this the other day, but we were kind of rushed at the end, so we're going to go ahead and do this again. Y minus, let's see, my x and y values are right here. of minus 3 is equal to my slope, which is negative 2, times x minus x1, which is 3. We substitute 3, negative 3 for x1 and y1, and we substituted negative 2 for our slope. That's how we got that little bit of information. So then we need to clean it up. Y minus a negative 3 becomes y plus 3 is equal to negative 2. And this stays the same. The equation then becomes y plus 3 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 3. And that is still in point slope form. Notice that this has a plus sign, okay, but your y1 value was what? Negative 3. So if I saw this and this has a negative sign, but your x1 was what? Positive 3. So you need to know, because if I gave you an equation like this and asked you what's your point, you need to recognize that your point is 3. What is your point? 3, negative 3. Even though here it says a negative and here it says a positive, because when you put it in point slope form, it's going to change your signs, isn't it? And you obviously know that your slope is negative 2. Now, we are not only going to get these to point slope form, then we're going to convert them to y equals, okay? So, the first one, we have a m of negative 4, and we have the point 1 and 3. So, we are going to say y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. We're going to plug in our information. Y minus, what do we have there? What's our y1 value? This is your x. This is your y. 3 is equal to negative 4 times what? X minus 1. Okay. So, do we need to do any cleaning up here? No, not at this point. If I wanted this equation, this is your point slope form. Now, if I asked for this to be in y-intercept form, then I would want you to do this, okay? I don't know if I'm going to have enough room. Let's write this over here. Point slope form. Should have done this on another piece of paper. Bottom one has enough room. This one probably doesn't. Okay? So, I'm going to take and bring my y minus 3 is equal to negative 4 times x minus 1 right over here. Okay? And what I'm going to do next is do y minus 3 is equal to, I'm going to distribute my multiplication. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Now I need to clean up my sides, don't I? I want this in a y equals mx plus b form. So I need to bring this 3 so I have my y by myself, correct? So plus 3 on this side, plus 3 on this side. That wipes that little baby out, and I end up with y is equal to negative 4x plus 7. That is my y, my slope. Intercept form. Piece of cake, right? All right, let's try the next one. And we're going to do both. This time they gave us 2 points. but we're going to write it in point slope form, and then we're going to convert it to y equals. All right. So they gave us 2 points. How do we find slope with 2 points? What? Yes. So we've got x1, y1, x2, y2. So we've got m is equal to, we're going to use our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I am going to plug in y2. I still teach mine, I don't know if Miss Moon does, to write that little, your lines and your negative signs in there before you begin. And I've got 5 minus a negative 4. And I have here negative 3, subtract 6. What do I have on top? 9 positive over negative what? 9. So 9 positive over negative 9 simplifies to a negative 1. Remember, you are simplifying these to either a whole number or a simplified fraction. Do not put it in decimal form. Okay? So now I know my slope and I have a point. So what did we do before? Let's see. Which point do we want to use? First one or second one? First one. Okay. So I am going to use the point 6, negative 4, and I am going to use the slope of negative 1, and I am going to put this in my slope intercept form, which is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. I am going to say y minus a negative 4. You may want to put parentheses around things just so that you keep it clean and you won't forget or get these negatives and subtract signs and all that kind of stuff mixed up. And then I have negative 1 times, what do I have here? I have what? X minus 6. So is there things I need to clean up? I need to put this as y plus 4, don't I? Is equal to negative 1 times x minus 6. That is my point slope form right there. Now, if I need this in y equals, I have 2 more steps to do. So I'm going to do that over here. Just to keep things clean, I'm going to say y plus 4 is equal to negative 1 times x minus 6. And I have y plus 4 is equal to negative x plus 6 after I distribute my multiplication. And I'm going to leave that 1 there just because I think it's important for you guys to see it. All right. Then I've got minus 4 on this side, subtract 4 on that side, and I've got y is equal to negative 1x plus 2. And that is my slope intercept form. Okay? So a lot of the same things that we've been doing. Here it says converting a standard form equation, ax plus by is equal to c, into slope intercept form. Okay? So I've got a 1 here and a 1 here, right? And especially as you first start out, I would definitely be writing those in. So I need this in the form of y equals mx plus b. So my first step would be what? To get the y by itself. So I am going to subtract 1x from this side, subtract 1x from this side. Okay? This is where students start combining 4 and negative 1, which you cannot do. All right? So that wipes that out. I have a negative 1y is equal to negative 1x plus 4. You can only combine like terms. Okay, I am going to rewrite it in algebraic form. I'm not going to write 4 minus 1x because I want it in this y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so then I need to what? I can do one of two things. I can divide by negative 1. I can multiply by negative 1. Which one are you guys more comfortable with? Dividing. See, I just love multiplying by negative 1. If I do that, I have to multiply each term on this side or divide each term on this side by negative 1. So it would be, I can show that by either doing this, right? Or I could put negative 1 times next to each term. You can divide. You would have to write it under each one. It doesn't matter which way you go. I'd end up with a positive y. Negative 1 times negative 1, I'd end up with a positive x. Negative 1 times 4, and I would end up with a subtract 4. So there is my beautiful equation, and that is the only way that, and see, if it was given to me in point slope form, I still could graph it, as long as I recognize the point and the slope. Okay, so I can graph this, and I've got a positive slope, and I'm going to cross at negative 4, and I am going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and I am going to get a line that looks like that. And it's not discrete because I could have any value of x in between those whole numbers. Let's do the next one. So what's my first step? What am I going to do? Get y by itself. So what am I going to do to get y by itself? Subtract 4x. Subtract 4x. I've got 8y is equal to negative 4x minus 24. Then now I'm going to what? Divide by 8, or multiply by 1/8, whatever way you want to do it. Divide by 8, divide by 8, divide by 8. I get y is equal to, negative 4/8 x, and negative 24 divided by 8 is what? What? Negative 3. Now, 8 times 3 is 24, right? So I need to simplify that slope. That is not the correct answer. So y is equal to negative 1/2 x minus 3. Please do not give me a decimal. You cannot count a decimal, okay? And so now I've got negative 3, and I've got a negative slope, which means when I count, I have to go to the left. All right, so I'm going to count up 2, and I'm going to count over 1, and I'm going to count up 2, and I'm going to count over 1. What?
It's up 1 over 2.
Oh, man, you are so right. Up 1 over 2. Thank you. Up 1 over 2. All right. If I wanted to get one more point on there, I could do it by going down 1 and over 2. And there is my line. Thank you. Save me from myself. Okay. So, let's try a couple more. Pretty much same thing every time. What are you going to do? Add 2x. 3y is equal to 2x minus 25. Now what are you going to do? Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. Okay? So you've got y is equal to 2/3 x minus, can you simplify 25 divided by 3? So leave it, 25 over 3. Leave it. Don't make it a decimal. Okay. All right, next one. What am I going to do here? Oh no, the y's on the other side. I don't know what to do. So now I've got negative 5x plus 600 is equal to 10y. I can't deal with that y on the other side. It just drives me nuts. Some students in the past have done this. As long as your signs are the same, it's okay to flip that. It's not wrong. Did I? Lord have mercy. Thank you. So as long as your signs are the same and your numbers are the same, it's okay to flip that. You've just got to be careful about your signs. Okay? All right, so let's see here. Let's divide by 10. And I would end up with y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 60. That's as far as I could go. Oh no, what do I do? There's a 0. I've never seen a 0. Where's your y-intercept on this problem? At the origin, that's correct, 0. Okay, all right. Now it makes sense. I got a 1x over here, so I'm going to subtract 1x. So 5y is equal to negative 1x. Do I even need to write that 0 on there? No, leave it off. Okay. And then I'm going to divide by 5. And I've got y is equal to, can I do anything to negative 1/5? Nope. There we go. Done. Okay. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy peasy, wheezy, 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 wheezy. All right, make sure you do all your work on a separate piece of paper.